Buy 11, get one free. Winning energy for their lunchbox.
All right, thanks for staying with us on TVC Breakfast. Now, the Academic Staff Union of Universities has urged the federal government to leave the Integrated Payroll Personnel Information System, the IPPIS, as a condition to call off its ongoing strike in the country. President of the union, Professor Biodun Ogunyemi, says that the ongoing strike may linger if government fails to meet its demands. They want the government to release all what is due to ASUU members and the union to enable them conclude on the outstanding 5 demands, including revitalization, renegotiation of the 2009 agreement, and the inauguration of visiting panels. The union's meeting with government leading up to last week had ended in a deadlock as the government's position on the IPPIS has not changed. ASUU had begun its strike on the 23rd of March. This year. The union and government will be meeting later today to continue discussions, and the question on the lips of many Nigerians is, will both sides shift grounds to reach an agreement? This is what everyone is waiting for to hear. Now, joining me is Chairman ASUU Unilag Chapter, Dr. Dele Ashiru. It's nice to have you join me right now, Dr. Ashiru.
Thank you very much for this invitation.
We have been on this platform talking about this issue for so many times over the years and all of that for several months now. Now, when it comes to this agreement, government and ASUU have met not once, not twice, and yet there has not been any way forward as to resolving this issue. What do you think is really that knotty issue that is preventing agreement and resolution?
Well, on the general note, the knotty issue is government's unwillingness to invest in the life of its citizens. Because no nation can rise above its level of educational development, particularly at the tertiary level. Now, we had an agreement with government since 2009. We have had to embark on a series of strikes to get government to implement an agreement it freely entered into in 2009. Now, coming back to the specifics, we have been meeting government in the last 1 month, almost a weekly ritual. And contrary to what is in the public domain, our union had to shift grounds on a number of occasions. For example, we argue that government promised to inject 1.3 trillion in 5 tranches into, maybe because we say revitalization, people don't understand what we mean, into expanding infrastructure in the university so that universities can be globally competitive. Now, the President Goodluck Jonathan administration released 200 billion after that protracted strike. Since Buhari administration came on board, they've been promising out of 200 billion, they can only give as a sign of good faith 20 billion naira. Now, our union is saying, okay, given the situation in the country, given the global pandemic, we will no longer insist that you must pay that tranche. Pay half of it. That's a lot of shifting. Now, let's leave that aside. In the last 11 years, our members have remained on the same salary scale. No professor in this country, 20 years of continued research, PhD, the highest degree, earns more than 460,000 naira in a month. And this 460,000 is even further amputated by the forceful implementation of the IPPIS platform. Now, as scholars and intellectuals, we said, given the failure of IPPIS, because even those who, for one reason or the other, agreed with government and were agreed to enroll on the IPPIS platform, are today at daggers drawn with the same government to say, look, even the promises you made, you have not fulfilled. This morning, Pengassin has issued a letter to all its members to commence an indefinite strike on account of the same IPPIs. So, if all sectors of the economy is saying a policy by government is not working for its people, Shouldn't that government do a rethink?
Okay.
Should government force a policy down the throat of its citizens under a democratic society?
All right. Let's make you take us to the class right now when it comes to understanding what this IPPIS is about. And the ASUU, we understand, are prescribing the UTAS or the UTAS system instead of the IPPIS. What is IPPIS when it comes to the composition? That ASUU is saying, no, we don't want it. And what is the UTAS that is the better form of IPPIS that ASUU wants government to implement?
Thank you very much. IPPIS, as the name goes, Integrated Personnel Payroll System. It's like a spreadsheet. They put all workers, all federal government workers in Nigeria on that platform.
Okay.
One, it is over centralization, which everybody in Nigeria today agrees is not working for the country. Take, for example, in the simplest form, you want to hire an assistant lecturer in Unilag or in Unijos or in Unimed. You have to seek approval from the head of civil service for you to get that done. Certainly, a lot of programs will die in the universities. Not only that, there's a law, Universities Miscellaneous Provisions Amendment Act 2003, that already clearly stated that universities will be insulated from government circulars, government policies that are inconsistent with established laws of relevant universities. Not only that, the IPPIS is so rigid that it doesn't take care of the flexibilities of allowances, of sabbatical leave, and all whatnot that you find in the university system that are not in the core civil service. Now, it is not ASUU that says you have to take UTAS. In 2014, when IPPIS was first to be introduced to the universities, we wrote to government to say, this can't work here for these reasons. And they saw it. Then they said, okay, we intend to check corruption in the university system. Now that you say this can't work, can you give us an alternative? And gladly we said, yes, we can. And in 2014, we sent 3 names. ASUU was asked to send 3 names to a team to be composed by government. Between 2014 and today, that committee never took off. Now, when the Accountant General came, he also reintroduced it. And while negotiation was ongoing, he began this militaristic, autocratic approach. You either get on IPPIS or you get not. As I speak with you, I have not been paid for 4 months because I elected not to enroll on IPPIS.
So the condition is if you're not on
IPPIS, I won't pay you. And our union is saying that we are citizens in this country. We are not subjects. And as citizens, we have the right to take on government policies, analyze it, and if it's not working, provide alternative. And that's what our union had done. Government says, okay, if you say you have an alternative, put it forward. Now, we put together our technical team. And today, they have a system that has been agreed by all that has witnessed the presentation, including the Accountant General of the Federation, that is more robust, is more flexible,
what is UTAS offering that is better off than the IPPIS?
Thank you very much. UTAS is saying that, look, one, if you want to check corruption in Nigerian university system, you don't need that centralization. Let everybody be in his own respective universities. And the National Universities Commission would have responsibility to monitor what is going there. So if you want to hire somebody in Unilag, you don't need a head of civil service of the federation. But once you do it, everybody on UTAS knows that there's an additional person in Unilag, in Unimed, in Unijos, in Sokoto. Not only that, allowances of all those who work in the universities, which are peculiar, have also been captured by UTAS. Such that if, you earn an allowance here, whoever is on UTAS the technology being used is like the one that is currently used in the bank. If you open an account in Lagos here. You don't need to go to Abuja for them to know that an account has been opened in Lagos. So we are offering something that is more robust, more sophisticated, more pragmatic than what IPPIS represents. But you know, government must insist on IPPIS because it's also not their creation. Government is busy borrowing money from IMF, from World Bank. And all of these are IMF conditionalities. For them to get more money as loans, they must, whether people like it or not, whether it is working or not, whether it's useful or not, they must satisfy the paymasters. And our union is saying, look, we need to insulate not only the university system, but also Nigerians from the shackles of imperialism, which this, Bretton Woods institutions represent.
Okay. Now, in the meetings or the negotiation meetings that is ongoing, that has been holding, and then there's one we're expecting today. When it comes to final shifting of ground, now you talked about the IPPIS and the UTAS. Is there a possibility of incorporating these two sides so that it means that both sides are shifting ground to accept something new, maybe?
No, government has even accepted in principle
the
deployment of UTAS, because at demonstration it was clear that, these are just incomparable. Now, what is the bone of contention is how do you pay lecturers that you are owed over the years? Government is saying that you have to go back to UTAS, and that our allowances will be paid by UTAS. And now the argument of our union is, look, this is not wise. It's not cost effective. If we have agreed that this is not working, and we have moved away, and we have been punished by withholding our salaries for several months. We are lucky in Lagos. In Unimite, they are being owed up to 8 months' salary. In Numudike, about 8 months' salary. In some other universities, about 7 months. If we have been so punished over these months, and UTAS is ready, why go back to say until you enroll? Those are the naughty issues. So all government needs to do, if truly they are interested in the development of education in Nigeria, is to say, okay, we paid you in May, I suppose, by whatever means. Government should revert to that same means and pay us our salaries. And then quickly reconstitute the renegotiating team. Because that's the only way we can get a pay rise. Our members need a pay rise. They cannot be on the same salary since 2009, and you expect them to be well motivated to do the job as it is done elsewhere. I tell you, Nigerian lecturers are the least paid when you take an African average, even in countries that are not producing fuel. So we really need the Nigerian people to support ASUU in this struggle to save public universities in Nigeria. The antics of government is to successfully discredit these institutions so that they can buy them and price university education out of the reach of masses of Nigeria, as they have done in primary and secondary schools. Nigerians should not allow this to happen. This struggle is not for ASUU alone. It is for every Nigerian.
All right. Let's wait to see what the negotiation today, or the meeting today rather, will come out with. Thank you so much, Dr. Dele Ashiru, for your time.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. We really thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Right. Now, this is where we come to the end of today's edition of the program. Let us tell you that the views and reaction of our guests, they have in connection with TVC News. And that's all on TVC Breakfast this morning. Join us again for tomorrow's edition. And up next will be Your View. Stay with us now.